Our channel is dedicated to bringing live performances and events to audiences around the globe.
Perform in Weill Recital Hall at Carnegie Hall. Opportunities for soloists and chamber musicians are available. Opportunities to perform a concerto with the New York Chamber Players and Orchestra Manhattan. Opportunities for composers to have their works premiered. New, an opportunity to have your string quartets recorded on an album produced by Cicciarone Music and Arts. Receive a press interview and be featured on our live internet TV series. Everybody who auditions receives a session with our tech experts to ensure you the maximum quality of presentation from your own equipment. Auditions will be hosted live online throughout the entire season. After your audition, stay online to receive your personal performance evaluation and a chance to speak with our esteemed judges.
You intend to do all the right things and you do them.
And I see you being very much aware that when your body moves, the sound flows.
It's like I never heard it before. I was like, okay. So thank you.
There's more. Whole Orchestra is back. Audition to be a featured artist in Florence, Lviv, Cairo, the Philippines. Possibility to take part on a professional recording with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, and a chance to link up with Price Attractions, a professional artist management company. Visit our websites for more details. HoldOrchestra.com, SoundEspressivoCompetition.com, or ProgressiveMusicians.com. So that's opportunities to be featured in New York City and all around the globe. Have your works premiered on a professionally released album, press interviews on the live internet TV, evaluations from musical experts, professional management opportunities, and so much more. Take that next step forward and reach toward your opportunity to receive world recognition as a musical artist.
We heard 7 artists tonight, and each one was fantastic.
It all starts by filling out that application on one of our websites.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live music programs. We are dedicated to bringing live performances and events from international artists and stages to our audiences around the globe. Welcome to Virtual Concert Halls. I'm Ouspenskaya, joining you from Washington, D.C., and I'll be hosting the program for you today. Today, we are presenting the 6th session of the auditions for performances in the concert season at Weill Recital Hall at Carnegie Hall. So today, auditionees are stepping on the virtual stage so that they can progress to the famed stage of the Carnegie Hall. A little bit of the history. I want to mention how this project started and the main collaborators who are presenting those concerts at Carnegie Hall. and taking the artists through the newly invented virtual stage and through all the tech obstacles which they might encounter to present their performances today at the auditions and then eventually at Carnegie Hall. So we are very grateful for ongoing collaborations with progressive musicians. This is a company established 5 years ago by James Welch, and we are very grateful for collaborating with James. He is the mastermind working together with the Carnegie Hall to make sure every presentation meets every best and the highest standard. And we are very grateful for the Price Attractions and its founder, Jack Price, formerly known as the famous pianist Dikran Atamyan, who is working together with us to establish more collaborations with orchestras and artists and arts management companies around the world, and to help us bring all the greatest music to the famous stage of the Carnegie Hall. And we are also very grateful for our ongoing work together with the Cicerone Music and Arts, CIMA. That's a boutique company focused on producing and distributing recordings of modern and contemporary and classical music on all the audio platforms, and bringing new names to the attention of the international audiences. Here I'm representing the Sound Espressivo competition, which started 4.5 years ago as an online virtual stage competition, and we have a very short trailer to show you about that.
No matter where you are or who you are, music connects us all. We started with a dream, but now we are paving the future. Welcome to the Sound Espressivo Global Competition. Fully virtual, yet bringing musicians closer together than ever before, now on a global scale. True live, inclusivity, diversity, connection, community, an extraordinary array of judges. Get noticed by companies all over the world. Prizes, scholarships, performance opportunities. Apply to be a part of the most exciting congregation of artists like nothing you've ever seen before. We guarantee quality and leave no musician behind. We can't wait to hear you on the virtual stage.
And I also would like to extend many thanks to many other companies which are collaborating with us and joining this movement of organizations led by professional musicians with a vision to create the space and opportunities for artists by the artists, because we frankly know what the artists need, and we I hope we also know what the audiences would like to see on the stages. Thank you very much to all the companies whose logos you see on the screen right now. They are all powered by incredible people. Yes, applause please. Thank you. The wonderful people behind those logos which you see on screen are the source and the wealth of the energy, innovation, and support which we are receiving for these programs, and which artists receive from all those organizations. All the auditionees who will be presented today are very welcome into our growing family of supporters, promoters, organizers, and artists around the world. These auditions are designed with a goal to encourage and nurture musicians to step on the stage and present their art on their own terms. Therefore, there are hardly any restrictions anywhere. We stream everywhere. You can see us on all the major video and social platforms, and on many curated platforms where the administration of those platforms chooses the content which they believe is of interest to their own communities and audiences. And we are very grateful for all this support. Visit any of your favorite platform. We are likely to be there. Send us a message, get in touch with us, leave a comment, and if the comment is timely while we are live, we'll bring it on screen, and the judges will interact with your comment, and we'll be happy to give you some feedback. So last year and it's a few seasons before, our programs have been growing every year. And this season we have 7 concerts at the Weill Recital Hall at Carnegie Hall. We engage 2 orchestras. We started with one, the New York Chamber Players Orchestra, and today we have one of the judges representing that orchestra, the music director of the New York Chamber Players. And this season we added another orchestra, the Orchestra Manhattan, and some of these auditions are also judged by the music director of that orchestra. So we also broadcast many programs dedicated to music, arts, and music news. We have panel discussions, we have interviews, we create films, we have ongoing seasons of various shows. So please visit our channels. You might find something of interest, something maybe surprising. And if you want to keep up with what's going on around the world in the music and in music education spheres, we are a good source of those. And so, without any further ado, I would like to introduce our wonderful judges for today's session. We have Giacomo Franci, artist advocate and the founder of Price Attractions. The company has been serving artists, orchestras, and various organizations for nearly 30 years, and we are very happy to welcome Giacomo Franci on the show as one of our esteemed judges. Welcome. And we also have Maestro Giacomo Franci, music director of New York Chamber Players Orchestra, a veteran of our programs. His orchestra graciously supported our artists since the very first season at the Carnegie Hall, and we are very grateful for this ongoing collaboration. Maestro, great pleasure to have you with us, and thank you for joining us and sharing your expertise with the auditionees. Thank you very much.
Always great to be here. Yeah.
Thank you. And
Lots of fun.
Yeah, wonderful to have you again here with us. We will be introducing the auditionees, and the first person I would like to introduce on stage for today's session number 6 is Annike Pfeiffer. She's a pianist. Will be performing Debussy from Dr. Gradus at Parnassum from Children's Corner. Welcome to the audition, and the stage is all yours. We're looking forward to presenting your performance.
Good job.
Oh, fantastic. What a great opener. I love this piece and thank you for a beautiful background. You're in such a wonderful setting. It's always a pleasure to bring artists in their own home environment. The intimacy of it is just fantastic. Okay, to the judges, let's first hear from a pianist. Jack Price, please.
Jack Price, please. Okay, hey, listen, Annike, that was good. I think you have a good grasp of the piece, and you've accomplished quite a bit of pianism at this point in your playing, and the sound is good. There's one thing I would say is just because the opening has harmonic progressions in your pedaling according to those harmonies, that you need to kind of flutter the pedal throughout the whole piece. It gets a little dry when you're not outlining these harmonies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In other words, like in the beginning, it's good, but even there you can flutter the pedal, you know what I mean? More the damper, because we're getting a little dry and too many notes kind of sticking out. What's great about this piece, I'm sure you know, is the blend of every note. Every note has to blend into the next. It's like one is born from the other. You know what I mean? Instead of, oh yeah, this is the beginning and we need to poke this out or something like that. You know what I mean?
That's why the pedal is helpful,
Yeah. I mean, I know you can do it. It's just sometimes, people have different things they point out and everybody has obviously a different opinion. You can go to a concert and, walk out, oh, it's the greatest thing I've ever heard. And the next person goes, oh, it's trash, And so, you never know what you're going to get from the critics, but being being constructive is the name of the game. And I think you can really build on what you've got. There's a lot there. Another thing, don't group. And there's a solution to it. You went, dumbra, bumbra, bumbra, you were grouping 1, 2, 5 or 1, 2, 4 when you would hit a single note in the left hand, that middle section.
Mm-hmm.
It's grouped. You need to obviously make it even. That's kind of, duh, everybody knows you got to make it even. But what would help is if you came in with the thumb more immediately from the left hand. Yum ba da 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 da. You see what I mean? You're going dum bra bum bra bum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So come in early with the thumb and at an angle where it's going, your descent is kind of like, you're not paying attention to it. It's just like, just come right in. Okay. Right after the left hand.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's really good.
Thank you.
Bravo. Yeah, it's really good. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Let's pass on the baton of the comments to Maestro Giacomo, please.
Yes, I agree with Jack. The piece Dr. Gradus at Parnassum has been taken by the original composition. That was inspired Debussy. The original composition is from Clementi, that he wrote 3 books of Gradus at Parnassum, which means it's in Latin. It means the way to the highest level of art. So you played it like you would have played Clementi. Basically, you put less pedal, but this is Debussy. So yes, I agree with Jack that to put more pedal is a good idea. It would get into the style of Debussy. So, but in general, I think you played very well.
Thank you.
Yeah. There is maybe, maybe since it's something that exudes the virtuosistic, could be maybe a bit faster all over the piece, and a little bit more use of the pedal, and then it will be better.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Brava. Good.
Can I say one more thing?
Oh, please.
I agree with him on the velocity, but don't go too fast because we don't want it to sound like, some kind of, I mean, if you do it as an encore, I'm sure there are a lot of pianists that would play it at a blazing speed just to, kind of be brilliant and show off. But to really capture the essence of this piece, don't go too fast, but maybe a little faster, according to the harmony, but not fast for fast sake. Don't just go fast. Listen to it. You know what I mean? Listen to what you're doing.
Wonderful. Thank you for great comments. Now, Annike, do you have any questions?
I was gonna ask about the tempo, but I think you guys answered that. But I mean, I've heard that kind of to fluctuate the tempo in this piece is helpful just to express more feeling. What do you think?
Yeah.
You mean add some rubato, right?
Yes.
Okay, who wants to take the question?
Well, Giacomo, you want?
No, it's already expressed by Debussy at the end. As you know, Annike is asking to go faster, if I remember well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I think that we all agree here. A bit faster. I'm not a fan of show-off performances, but always, even if you play least. But I mean, there is nothing to argue.
I think Annike may be referring to more like agogical rubato within the phrases. Is that right, Annike? Is that your question?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Jack, would you like to take?
Well,
it?
yeah.
It's
the same. It's the same I was saying before. If you play I think is the first one. Is the first studio by Clementi, first book. That's where Debussy is inspired from.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, if you do rubato, it's not a good idea. But in Debussy, yes. So it's the same thing I was saying before. Debussy has a different style from Clementi because 20th century versus 18th century. So, yeah, of course, yes, some rubato is good. Phrasing rubato, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, well, not to interrupt, but look, I have a problem with many of these terms. Like one, musicality. What the devil is that? And then rubato, rob time. What is that? Taking from one note to put another. I say, humbly, gong. I say, listen to those harmonies. That's for me, Annike, not you. Okay, so that gong's a little too long, Kiki. I'm sorry, but that gong lasts forever. That's not the gong show. It's bong off. Okay. So anyway, Annike, am I pronouncing your name?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's Annike. I knew someone named Anniko. She was Hungarian, but Annike?
Annika.
Annika.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I thought it was. You see, I should always go by my first instincts. Instead, yes, Annike. I like that name. Well, I won't tell you about that. Anyway, rubato, yeah, but I would say, okay, the opening, ba-da-da-dee-da-da-da-dum, you're obviously going to resolve it to the second group, right? Because you have that atonal fragment F. So, you know what I mean? Feel the harmonies. And then have these pit stops in your brain. Like you don't drive from Phoenix to San Francisco in one drive, right? You stop to get gas, go to the bathroom, and eat, right? Those three major things, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So in your playing, you're doing that, but not cleverly enough. You're stopping and you're letting us know, hey, guys, I'm stopping for a hamburger. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, she's letting us know. It's like the southpaw, the boxer. He's telegraphing his left hook. Okay, you don't tell your opponent, "Hey, I'm going to throw a left hook here." You just do it. So in other words, don't let us know that you're doing anything. Just do it. Like I hate to say it, it's in the Bible. Just do it. Okay, yeah, just do it. I mean. I'm going to do this, and I promise I'm going to give you $10 million. Well, you know what? Just give me the 10 million,
That's
You know what I'm
very-
saying? Yeah, I mean, I know this lady that keeps talking about giving me 10 million. I'm going, and?
So I guess the
Yeah. She's
summary of this suggestion is be subtle and be surprising.
Yeah, yes, that is a very good way of putting it, Anna. I would say subtlety is the master here. It's like, let's not poke it out. But Annike, it can be very good, this performance. The other thing is when you cross hands, speaking of stopping and starting, I'm going to lean on the, what do you call it, fall board now. Speaking of stopping and starting, don't stop when you go da da dee. What is that? Continuous. This whole idea of momentum, you're losing it with this outline you're giving us, which is quite nice, but don't do it too much. I think your performance is the perfect example of what you should guard against in terms of exaggeration. Don't exaggerate anything.
Okay.
Okay? But you've got it. It's just a couple of things.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Annike, for a wonderful performance and for your questions. And thank you, judges, for your comments. With this, we'll be saying goodbye to Annike and moving on to inviting our next candidate for the performance at the Weill Recital Hall at Carnegie Hall. And we are welcome a composer, Joseph Pegram, with his choral sonata for trumpet, strings, and piano. Joseph, great pleasure to be presenting your piece today.
Thank you, Anna.
Oh, thank you so much, Joseph, for bringing a new composition. It's such a great pleasure and honor to always present newly composed music. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, and welcome to our program. Now to the judges. Now this time, let's start with the maestro Giacomo Franci.
Hi, Joseph. Congratulations. Very
Thank
nice
you.
Composition in D
Thank you.
minor.
It's sort of a hybrid sonata concerto thing. I wasn't trying to define it, but yeah, it's it was 6 months of writing, so it took a while.
Of course.
Well, I find it fast writing. When I compose, it takes years for me to do a composition of 25 minutes. So, but yeah, so I didn't. I focused on the. I didn't look at the score. The way I felt. Correct me if I'm wrong. There was three movements, right?
Yes, there were 3 movements.
Right. So, and if I heard well, maybe the second movement is in B minor, and the other one are in D minor.
Yeah, the overall. I think you're right there. Yeah, the overall structure is D minor to B minor, and then back to D minor again.
Okay, I heard right. There was a B minor. Okay, so I sympathize with pieces that have tonality. I'm not very simpatico with a lot of dissonances and so forth.
Right. Me either.
The piece itself, it looked like a trumpet and orchestra. The trumpet has a busy part, not easy.
No, it's not. And unfortunately, the poor soul that we got to do it, the person that had been working on the trumpet solo for a few weeks, became very ill right before I was doing this run-through session, which is what you saw, and somebody actually stepped up and got it like 4 or 5 days before, and tried to run it through. And I felt bad for the guy because it's not an easy work. Being a trumpet player, I wrote it for a certain level.
Trumpeter, yeah.
I'm not judging the execution. I was just understanding that it's a busy part, and a good orchestra player can play it very well.
Yes, he can.
It's no problem.
Yep.
I really enjoyed your composition.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's a good. I enjoyed the fugato in the first movement.
Thank you. Yeah, you picked up my Bach fugue. That's great. I'm very happy about that. I will tell you, there's a small story behind that. Really briefly, is that I was stuck. I was stuck on the and I had no way of getting out of it. My son is a former student at Jacobs School, and he just graduated in June, and he was home for the holidays, and he said, I said, I'm stuck on this. And he said, I really like it, but it right here, it needs to go with this more aggressive thing, and you need to like, something like that. You need to, and it was like the lights went off in my head. I had been stuck on that for 2 months. I couldn't get past it. I was blocked. And my son, of all people, comes in and bails me out. So I've got to give credit to the fugue to my son. So
wow, that's good. And then
he's a good kid. He's a good player.
I also enjoyed, if I listen well, the third movement there was a few dissonances. I enjoyed that as well.
I wanted to make it come to be dissonant, but then my hero is Bernstein, and I don't think that there's anybody in this room that probably is not in awe of what Bernstein did. But Lenny said something very, 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 very succinct. He said he felt like composition was come back to a tonal structure, and I never want the audience to be cringing, like, can please get out of it. I just want to go there a little bit and then come right back to it.
Come back, yeah.
You know, because I feel like in my heart as a former professional trumpet player, my heart was with Mahler and Bruckner and Brahms and all of this, all the more romantic, and that's what you see, I hope, reflected in what I've done here.
Yeah. I have just a question.
Yes, sir.
Why you call it choral? There are no singers, so I would just.
Well, because the second movement is based on the second Franck organ chorale.
Okay.
And so, and then I bring the third chorale in at the very end to tie it all together. And
so it's inspired.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I got it. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I do have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend this to be a quartet, trumpet and piano, like an expanded chamber group, or was it more intended to be like a string orchestra with a trumpet solo and a piano?
Actually, both. My philosophy is, both as a musician and a composer, I've tried to write stuff, and I've got an extensive woodwind catalog up online with a publisher. Is I wanted to write stuff that people would get together and want to play. Not just my own stuff, but arrangements of things like I've got a woodwind ensemble of the Pictures at an Exhibition Suite. That's up there. I wanted to. It's like a double woodwind quintet kind of thing, a little bit more augmentation to it, but I wanted to make it to where kids in college and high school could get together and play the stuff that they love to hear on the radio, on satellite radio, and talk with their teachers about, but play it. There's a lot of music that needs to be played by these younger students and kids, and so I wanted to. I've been writing arrangements of that stuff for a long time, and as well as a few of my own original works. But with this one, and to answer your question, I wanted to do it where it could be both. Ideally, it should be probably a 2-2-2-2-1 bass with piano, so you'd have a double string quartet to give it some body. You could go a little bit larger than that, but I fear that in the fugue, the notes would get a little bit lost in each other, even with a conductor and stuff like that.
I have a comment about that.
Sure, go ahead.
I think that a full chamber orchestra, I mean, not like a symphony orchestra, but
right. A
full chamber orchestra would serve your piece better because the trumpet has a stronger sound.
You're right.
Than the whole session of 8 violins. So
exactly,
that would and an orchestra of level can play the fugato very well. It wouldn't be a problem.
Right.
So
well, I agree with that. I mean, look, I conducted Beethoven 3 once with a 4/4 violin setup. It was a chamber setup because it was all we could fit, and it was awesome. I just had the brass pull back, distance. But this is a trumpet piece, and so having him out and being more present within the orchestra is, you might be right. I'm not opposed to it. I mean, it's just one of those. Yeah. I'm trying to think of making everything clean when it comes to certain difficult parts.
No, a professional orchestra can do it very easily.
Probably.
I think so.
Okay.
Just passing by. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, let's hear some comments from Jack Price, please.
The question, Giacomo, can your orchestra play it?
Yes, for sure.
I would think so, yeah.
Just kidding, because I had to get you on that because you're a conductor, Listen, I love the piece.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's really, the thing is, you bring up so many questions with Giacomo and your comments. It's like my mind is like flooded with questions because I'm the question man, So, like you said, you don't like dissonance. It doesn't matter what I think or what I like, but I thought you did very well in the texture of the composition in general, because you just composed what you felt.
Thanks.
You're not trying to, I've played a lot of avant-garde music. Who cares? I've played a lot of tonal music. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Someone once said music is either good or bad. Even if you're listening to rap, there's good rap and there's bad rap. Supposedly,
Okay.
right?
Supposedly.
Yeah. Well, if you're listening to Christian rap, I guess that's good, right?
I don't know. I look.
Yeah.
That's not my genre, to be honest. I mean,
Yes, it's not my bag. I know what you're saying. We can go into all of this Christian music later. But anyway, the point is that compositionally, it's sound, it's exciting, and it's marketable. So you've taken yourself to the marketplace. You see, that's innovation, and that's heavy lifting push. You just pushed it out to the marketplace. I think that's excellent. I'm not saying it's catchy or gimmicky or trendy. I think it's very original. You have a lot of original thought in there. Yeah, you could say it's been done before by, Bach, but it's interesting how composers work. I must say I admire them greatly, but I also have worked with a lot of them, and they're very, how do you say, sympathetic to how a performer wants to do something simply because they want their stuff played, right? So they're not going to really argue about, I want a forte there or something. But then again, you're not really there to give them directives. You've got the notes down there. The movements were well put together. The pacing, the impetus of the piece was great. I thought it was terribly interesting. I really did. I really liked it a lot. And have you ever thought of licensing this kind of stuff to movies and stuff?
Have I thought? No, honestly, I haven't thought about it. Yeah, I haven't thought about it, and I've got, the thing is, Jack, this is my first long form piece that I've got a symphony which is huge that I'm writing. It's taking.
Well, you don't have to license long things,
No. I've got. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. No, I haven't thought about it. Am I open to it? Yeah, of course. Who isn't? The thing that I'm working on my own is to try to put together enough stuff to start putting myself back into the movie and TV marketplace as well. I did that a while back, and so now I'm trying to re-put my foot back into that platform. So, now that I feel like I've got my bearings set on on composition again, and I feel like I'm a lot better now than I was even before. There's a whole lot of stuff that I'm looking into. You're the first person that's actually mentioned, licensing for things. So that would be something I'd have to, bring in and consider and figure out how to do, I suppose.
Well, I think the reason why, I'm sorry.
Suggestion. Yeah, that's a wonderful suggestion. I was thinking just about the same. This music can have a wide variety of application and can be performed in many different settings. That's how I felt. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
It's really, right from the beginning. It's very. What's the word? You capture the listener's imagination right from the start. The very beginning of the composition, I was struck by, I haven't heard that before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have.
And so it was excellent.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, sorry, Jack. Yes, you have. I took
I
that. No, wait a minute. I took this. I took the opening from Liszt's Funeral March. Dum dum da dum dum da dum da dum da dum. That's where I got.
That's not Liszt.
Who? Wait a minute. Who did
Chopin?
That? Chopin. Sorry, I always confuse the two. I apologize. Not a pianist.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I thought you were going to say, just as you started that, I thought you were going to say funeral.
No.
That's the way Bolette used to say, "Do you play funeral?" And I go, Okay.
This is becoming a very interesting discussion, and we probably can come back to it. I really appreciate the engagement. Unfortunately, we have some people waiting to step on the stage, and I hate to cut this short, but I have to. So thank you, Joseph, for bringing this wonderful piece and inspiring a very meaningful and interesting discussion with it.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, but all of you, and I appreciate your feedback. I really do. It means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will be moving on and inviting on stage Yejoo Byun, who will be performing Handel's Lascia Pianga. Welcome on stage. It's all yours, and we're happy to be presenting you today. I'm sorry, Yoon, you're muted. We can't hear you. Would you please go to your settings and unmute your microphone? I apologize for interrupting your audition. Let's see if Yoon can get herself unmuted, and we'll restart this audition momentarily. I think we're all set. And again, Yoon, the stage is all yours. Welcome. Let's start from the top. Just to remind everyone, we are in the middle of the auditions for the performance opportunities at the Weill Recital Hall at Carnegie Hall. We are auditioning soloists, ensembles, large ensembles, soloists who perform with orchestras, and we have 2 orchestras throughout the season. Our New York Chamber Players Orchestra, whose music director, Maestro Giacomo Franci, is one of the judges for today's session, as well as Orchestra Manhattan, whose music director, David Wroe, will be judging with us tomorrow. And these auditions also include an invitation for composers to submit their pieces for consideration for a performance by soloists, ensembles, or the orchestras, or the 2 quartet groups which we have on board performing with us for the 3rd season in a row. We have Leonard Quartet performing new compositions by composers, by living composers, and as well we are joined by Bayberry String Quartet, who performed in the last season and will be joining us again this season. And we have many more opportunities for soloists and composers alike to have their music presented at the Weill Recital Hall at Carnegie Hall, as well as with orchestras around the world, and also to record their compositions for the publication and distribution of audio album, number of audio albums, modern classics, which are produced by Cicerone Music and Arts. And we'll continue with our auditions, and we'll invite on stage the composition and the composer who is auditioning for the composition to be presented at the Weill Recital Hall at Carnegie Hall, Yin Yin Huang, and her composition Journey of Life Trio. Welcome on stage. We're happy to be presenting you today. Oh gosh, I love that Brahmsian ending. So epic, wonderful. Now to the judges. Let's hear from Maestro Giacomo, please.
Hi, Amy.
Good morning.
Good morning. Where are you?
California, Los Angeles.
California. So it's more morning for you.
Yes.
It's really early.
Okay. I think your composition has a lot of very good ideas.
Thank you.
I don't know if I heard it well because, my comment is I didn't understand it. So we already start there. So am I wrong if I say it started in E major and then you went temporarily in C minor and E flat at the end?
Who cares?
Why
Yes.
you cares, man? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well-
I don't know what that has anything to do with it.
Okay, I think that I didn't find the form in your composition. It feels like I would take one idea and then develop it in another way. Then you have another idea, and I would develop in another way. And now you are not talking to the right guy because I'm a great fan of form. So, for example, a great maestro, great genius of form is Beethoven, where one note come after another, and it seemed that there couldn't be any other idea than that. So I mean, if you, in my humble opinion, if you like to consult with me about your composing, I would be more than happy to.
Yes,
help
may
you,
I? Yeah.
help you to how you develop. You have this idea, then what do you do later? It has to be related, according to me. And it seems that you have very good ideas, but they remain there. It's called eclectic. For example, another composer that has been accused of that is Alfredo Casella. I don't know if you have ever heard this name. And he was a composer on the beginning of the 20th century. He was similar to you. It was like it's like improvisational kind of, and then I think this is good, and then you do, but without relating it to before. For example, the counterpart of Casella has been Igor Stravinsky. So Igor Stravinsky, no, he had a great form. That's why Stravinsky is Stravinsky and Casella is Casella. Yeah. So that's what is my. But you have very, very good ideas. So I will be more. Feel free to contact me. We can have a conversation, and I would be more than happy to give you my more specific opinion about your composing talent, which you
Thank you.
obviously have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And I do want to underscore for everyone who is watching that we're building new model of musicians community. And yes, everyone who is judging on our auditions, and please visit to the page on the website where we list all the judges. These are international artists from all over the world, and everyone is very welcome to get in touch and to exchange the contact information and to be in touch. We're developing those relationships. Networking with peers and like-minded artists is a big part of arts development and developing ourselves as musicians, and of course developing our careers. So thank you, Maestro Giacomo, for graciously offering your
Thank you. Thank
your
you.
contact. And yeah, this is part of our culture here, so Yin,
Appreciate
feel free, please. And I wanted to also throw into the mix of the discussion that there was another composer who was accused of having a hard time with developing his ideas, and that was Robert Schumann. And his one of his ways of connecting his eclectic ideas was to create an underlying story and even publish. He even published those stories in the comments, like his famous Carnival, many of the ideas in the short pieces which comprise that collection don't ever appear anywhere in the development. There's basically no development, but there's there's an underlying development, of course, of how he stacks up those ideas. But that's a different way of creating the form from what Maestro was pointing out. But I agree with you, Giacomo. Some of those ideas, Yin, are so calling for further development that you have a great potential of really tying this up in the music format. But I'm not a judge here, so my comments don't count towards the results at all.
Appreciate.
So let's hear from Jack Price, please.
I need a gong, please. Thank you. Okay.
So, thank you, team.
By the way, I am not available for consultation.
That is not true.
No, I know it's a joke. I only consult. That's my whole thing, is free consultation. 501c3. No, anyway, another gong would be nice. Okay, so, yeah.
And here's the shorter one.
Listen, you got, I like the staccato, or portamento. Yes, very nice. Or portato. Shall we have a portato gong? That would be good. Okay, so listen. This was like a cross between the Emperor and John Tesh or Yanni or something. Okay? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Do you know Yanni?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So look, I didn't get it. I would refer to the maestro's first comment was, I didn't get it. I don't get it. Not sure I ever will, because the ideas are so disjunct. It's like Rambo versus Mozart or something. It's just not cohesive enough. The idea that Schumann threw away ideas, this is one thing. Tchaikovsky's first piano concerto, you might notice that the opening theme is never used again. Okay, well, he's Tchaikovsky. I mean, we could easily say, there's Salieri, and there's Mozart, I mean, Tchaikovsky can get away with it because he's a phenomenal genius, and I will not go into his genius now because I think lots of people would disagree with me, and that's too big of a conversation. But Tchaikovsky was a melodist beyond a melodist, sort of like Schubert, and you say, Schubert, Tchaikovsky, not much connection. There actually is. But this composition, it's like, a lot of ideas, but it sounded like the Yellow River Concerto to me, kind of like three composers coming together four composers. Yeah, it doesn't really work, in my opinion. That's all I really have to say. It's just not, try something else. That's what I would do.
Okay.
I just
Thank
want
you.
to add a little.
Yeah, please.
I think that if you start focusing on, for example, the beginning, you have the pizzicato in E major, then, okay, maybe like doing a melody, this is a suggestion, you can do whatever you want, but a melody in E major that you can develop. You don't have to stay in E major, but then anyway, you have to cultivate a sense of form. And going back to the comment of Anna, the Carnival by Schumann, yes, but that was the different mask. So it was the composition is structured in a way, and yes, Schumann is not a big example of form. You are right. But come Pulcinella, come Arlecchino, come Chopin. So and then I mean that also has been saying that Schumann was Arlecchino, was Chopin, was a crazy guy. Schumann. Let's face it. But
I mean,
Yeah, but there was a leitmotif. I mean, I don't know how to better explain it. Between
A
the
theme.
different masks, yes, there was.
Okay,
Is
understand.
the composition Carnival? So, but yeah. Anyway,
me-
yeah. I mean, I don't want to talk too long about it.
I mean, wait a minute. Hold on. Chrysleriana is one of the most disjunct pieces ever written, and it's also Schumann's greatest work, in my opinion, my humble opinion, gong. So all I have to say is this comparison between Tchaikovsky and Schumann and Yin Yin Huang is not really good because we're not talking about the same thing. We're talking about apples and oranges. Yin Yin, you have to get some cohesive whole in your thinking. It cannot be Yellow River meets, Beethoven 3. It's just not going to work. I'm telling you the truth. It's my opinion, but nevertheless.
Thank you.
What you need to do is take an idea, a perfect example. This is constructive. As Abraham Lincoln said, he who has the right to criticize, who has the heart to help. So I'm going to help. Listen to the Brahms First Piano Concerto. This is the greatest example of no fat on the bone. No fat on the bone. You understand?
I got it.
Every single thread is developed, like Giacomo said. It's thoroughly developed. I know of no other composition like that. None. Brahms was absolutely the ultimate developer from beginning to end.
Yes, I do agree with that.
Yeah, try it.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Yin, do you have any questions for that?
this is a very helpful section because I actually just started compose during pandemic.
Oh,
So-
wow.
Oh, wow.
So this
Well-
is very helpful because I just overwhelmed with my ideas a lot of time. I have a lot of melody, a lot of ideas, and during the pandemic, I started close to the nature. So we actually that I have a desire want to compose. So within the 4 years, I started to search for it. So I was lucky to be able to have a lot of musicians still play my piece and premiere a lot. But the life of journey, it's because I've tried to describe a beautiful life and what's happened to last year when we went back Taiwan for the Tuquan Music Festival. So I'm describing all the things happening with the students there involved with the festival, and then they go to the food stand and the poba milk tea, and you can hear the shaved ice when the violin and cello go da 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 da. It's the shaving the ice. Then I took them to a church, so you can hear kind of like a Rachmaninoff trio. So it's the church like. Pianist play the chords and string doing the tremolo. So this is all my idea, just experimenting. But I appreciate that I will keep in touch with, definitely.
That's
For more-
incredible.
Well, that changes
you
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not only composing for 4 years. That's quite an incredible achievement.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's different.
I want
and
to
it
add
explains
something.
that being flooded with ideas and learning how to manage so many ideas in the piece, it's a whole journey, of course.
I would like to add something.
Yes, please.
Sure.
So another thinking here in New York City, I'm inundated with events of jazz free improvisation, and I was going to attend them, and on occasion I've been composing myself, and I can't deny that at a point I say, wow, I'm getting that idea, I put it in this violin and orchestra piece that I composed recently. But most of the time when I go to these events, I get really annoyed because the people going there one time, for example, at the Stone, at this club in New York, a group of quartet jazz group, they announce it in front of everybody. we are a group of geniuses. Now listen to us. Already they are. I was about to just get out because you don't say something like that. That's
Gone.
terrible.
Of course, yeah.
That's terrible. So
That's too
yeah,
arrogant, of course.
no, it's beyond. It's cocky. So anyway, and then when they started to play, that was really horrible. It was very angry music, horrible. Of course, but if you say something like that already in the beginning,
You
so
set the stage for
yeah,
disappointment. That's true.
yeah. So anyway, the thing is that that the problem of being a great musician, I think, one of the main thing is to be humble, but then be also confident. How can you do that? Not easy. So I think that when you are able to do that, there is room to grow, and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's a wonderful comment. Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah, we always have to find a balance point, yeah, in our life. Thank you.
Absolutely. And Yin, thank you so much for joining our program
Thank
and
you
for
so much
presenting your
for this
composition.
opportunity.
Thanks.
I really learned a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, judges, for your comments. Thank you all. With this, we'll be moving on to presenting the next performer, and that's Yejoo and Byun performing Handel, Lascia, Pianga. No, I hope I'm pronouncing this the name of the area close to correctly. Yejoo, welcome on the virtual stage. We are looking forward to hearing your performance.
Dispettata con la forza d'appresso, la prima carrozza della coppetta, con il tormento di Signor,
다시.
All right. We will continue to work on bringing Yejoo performance. She has beautiful voice. We want to make sure we can hear all the details of her performance. While our team is working on her setup to make sure we can present it in its full glory, I would like to remind everyone that we are here in the session 6 of 2-week ongoing finals for the auditions for candidates to be selected to perform at Weill Recital Hall at Carnegie Hall, and composers also submitting their music for consideration to be performed either by the soloists or by the orchestras. And in this season, we have a 7-concert season at the Carnegie Hall. We are presenting soloists, ensembles, new compositions. We have 2 quartet groups which are performing and recording compositions by living composers. We also have large ensembles. We have returning ensembles and returning soloists from previous seasons. And we have 2 orchestras who are performing with the soloists selected for those concerts. We have New York Chamber Players Orchestra returning for the 3rd season in a row. And we have a new orchestra joining us for the 1st season, Orchestra Manhattan. And we are very, very grateful to their music directors, Maestro Giacomo Franci, who is also judging on today's session, and Maestro David Wroe, who will be joining our judging session tomorrow. And what is coming up? We have a season packed with events. There's just so many, it's overwhelming, but I'll try to walk you through what's coming very next. We will have the deadline approaching for the auditions for the call orchestra project. What is call orchestra? Well, it's what it sounds like, call orchestra with orchestra. These auditions and this whole project is designed to bring a more connection between soloists, composers, and the orchestras around the world. We want the world to be what it is. It is a small little globe where music connects us all on many, many levels. And a call orchestra is a representation of it. We are very grateful for so many orchestras joining us as we continue to develop this project. We started with just a couple of orchestras which expressed an interest in this experimental project. And in the 24-25 season, we have 16 orchestras on board, and quite a few more are considering the formats and logistics of how to join. We are so happy and so grateful to have orchestras representing various countries, various cultures, various setups, from small chamber orchestras to full symphony orchestras, to unique groups, like, for example, the Yejoo Sinfonietta is doubling as a chamber orchestra and also as a fully Baroque orchestra. So if anyone is interested in Baroque music, this is your opportunity, which is kind of rare. There are not so many ensembles anywhere around the world which are on a regular basis performing on a full set of Baroque instruments, which is purchased and designed for this group to sound very coherent. And they have 2 harpsichords. So all harpsichordists, all the Baroque singers, Baroque dancers, all people representing this period of culture and classical arts. Welcome. Please consider this opportunity to perform with this orchestra. Not to mention many other orchestras which you saw on screen while I was describing the project. We have orchestras in Europe, in Asia, and in the United States, of course. And what you're seeing on screen are incredible, internationally renowned music directors and conductors of these orchestras, our collaborators. And I can assure you, every one of these wonderful musicians is also a very warm and welcoming person. So you will meet them on our auditions during the judging commenting sections, and you will hopefully be selected to perform on their concert seasons. So how to apply? The deadline is coming up on November 21st. Visit any one of our websites, and please take some time to read the information on those websites to understand how this process works, what the dates are for the auditions, and then, of course, we would like to invite you to apply. When you apply, you need to submit the recording, and you can submit recording of any composition. That's part of our mission here, is to give everyone voice on their own terms. You don't have to submit a certain prescribed number of pieces, whatever that prescription is. You choose what represents your art best. Send us that video for the pre-screening, and if you're invited for the final auditions, you will be part of one of those programs like what you're watching today. We'll be inviting you to join us on the virtual stage, and to meet and to interact with the judges in the real time. And then when you're selected, you will receive an invitation to perform with the orchestra. The comments you hear are unfiltered, immediate comments from our judges, and we value this very much. As a musician who grew up and competed some years ago when this format was not available, I always wanted to meet the judges of every competition I performed in, and I wanted to find out the answers to both questions. If I didn't win, why, of course, and if I did win, exactly, I would like to know why. That was not available to me and many of my colleagues of our generation. So we got together and we decided we want to change it. We are receiving great support from our colleagues who are interested to meet the candidates and to share their comments and to share the questions, answers, and to have this meaningful in-person close interaction with people. And we are receiving also comments from candidates who are grateful for this opportunity to get unfiltered commenting as opposed to written comments a few months later. So with this, I would like to my team to give me a signal if we are ready for the next candidate. And I guess we are not yet. So we will show you a few short trailers and clips describing in more detail this season and what is coming up.
It is terse, it is compact. Its dynamic energy is concentrated into a mere 9.5 minutes of music, the shortest opening movement of Beethoven's 9 symphonies. And it's all the more stunning because of the bold, unprecedented way in which it begins. Known to practically every living being on earth. It's that powerful. And certainly the fifth contains the same sort of revolutionary musical outlook and language as the Eroica. And the Fifth Symphony's main key of C minor definitely evoked powerful creative impulses from the composer, as we saw in the second movement Funeral March of the Eroica. But I don't know that there's much point in doing any more detective work here. It's all been done by others. Beethoven's iconic opening motive, the group of 4 unison notes, is not something that he necessarily invented for this symphony. Beethoven used this same basic motive for the first movement of his great Fourth Piano Concerto, which also appears in the same sketchbooks with the Fifth Symphony, the same 4-note pattern. I'm sounding much different, yes? Mozart used the same motive 20 years earlier in the first movement of his equally great C major Piano Concerto, number 25.
So what you saw, a series of quick trailers and previews, represents many different genres and many different styles of our programming. As we're developing our reach, developing our own style of presentation, we are, of course, adding more different programs, including films. Our virtual concert halls, a film team collaborated with Architects of Music and Steve Robinson as a producer and Lawrence Rabchak as a creator of the content and narrator on creating a series of Beethoven symphonies films. Those are encompassing all 9 Beethoven symphonies, and it's been a 3-year-long project of creating them. So we are happy to let you know that 8 symphonies were already completed, and the 9th symphony is currently almost completed. The 3 movements are done, and we are working on the 4th movement of it. This has been an incredible collaboration, and what I want to point out is the creator of the actual story and the narrator in those films, Lawrence Rabchak, worked for nearly 3 decades as a pre-concert lecturer for the Chicago Symphony. And if you're in Chicago and if you lived in that great city, of course, you have attended the concerts by the Chicago Symphony, where you were able to enjoy the very entertaining, very informative, and very engaging pre-concert lectures by Lawrence Rapchak. But if you're outside of the Chicago Symphony, you probably never had a chance to enjoy his presentations. So these films bring his incredible wit, his insight, his knowledge, and his ability to bring up a whole array of different facts which represent and support understanding of composers and their thinking and the music's meaning which composers put into their pieces, all to light of larger audience. And I'm very, very proud and very grateful for our team opportunity to work with Lawrence Rapchak on this mammoth and beautiful project. And also we are live every day of the year and every day of the week with varieties of shows. What you saw just a short while ago was a short preview clip about the ongoing show on every Friday, Jack Price is Right, or JP. The show is starring one of our today's judges, Jack Price, formerly known as Tigran Atamian, a very famous, accomplished, wonderful pianist, and Jennifer Savage. They are discussing insights into the artistry and career and inner mechanics of how to become a great artist and how to make it known to everybody else that you are. So those shows are on every Friday. Please tune in. The topics in there are incredibly engaging and intriguing, and you will enjoy the wit and the insight and the wisdom of those shows. We also have music and musicians around the globe, an ongoing series of presentations where we present artists, arts organizations, ensembles, orchestras, and musicians from frankly all over the world with interviews and in-depth dives into serious and very important topics for the modern arts, performing, educational, and alike. Sometimes we go with an interview. It's what is called a music talk show. We present segments of the art, of course, of the music presentations. Some of those programs are dedicated to live broadcasts of concerts from orchestras and from ensembles and soloists from different settings. This is an eclectic collection of presentations and news from arts from around the world, which has one underlying theme, which is to bring to your attention the great and the wonderful today's developments in the arts from different parts of the world. Let me see if we are ready to present the next performer, Yejoo and Byun. Team, please give me a signal if we are ready, and if not, I have a lot more to share with you. Not yet. Okay, great. Now I'm going to take you with us and with our crew, which recently went to the city of Florence. If you've been to Italy, I'm sure you have been to Florence, but if you haven't, I would like to encourage you to definitely go and visit the city. It's a gem of Italy, full of history, mystery, politics, murders, and very beautiful architectural. It's basically museum piece under the sky, but also really full of life and a lot of cultural and music events. So we were very lucky to collaborate with the Florentina Camerata, the chamber orchestra, the most important, the main orchestra of the city, and its music director Giuseppe Lanzetta, whose orchestra and himself are participating in our call orchestra project. Also in the conductors exchange project, several of the conductors who collaborate with us had already performed and conducted this orchestra, and we are looking forward very much to continuation of that and to have more soloists from call orchestra auditions to be selected to go to beautiful city of Florence and to perform with Camerata. And here's a quick snippet of this recent concert. This was the announcement of the two concerts which happened in October, and we're looking forward to two more concerts. The previous month's concerts were led by David Wroe, one of the conductors who are part of our judging panel, and his orchestra Manhattan is part of the Carnegie season. And next month we have another conductor from our group of collaborators, Sargsyan, going to Florence, and he will be conducting two concerts in there. He is part of the call orchestra project, and so we will be broadcasting those concerts too. And we have many more concerts and beautiful events, festivals, competitions, orchestras, operas, and soloists from different countries. We will be presenting those concerts live on our programs as well. And we have a few more short videos which describe many of our projects for you to enjoy. Okay, and I have a signal from our team that Yejoo Byun is ready to step on the virtual stage and to perform her audition. Yejoo, thank you very much for being with us today, and I'm looking forward to your performance.
E qui
you. Thank you very much, Yejoo. I hope all this working on your tech was worth the effort for you. It was definitely worth the time and effort for us to hear your beautiful voice in this broadcast. And I love your setup and the dress and everything. It
Thank
just
you.
coordinates so well with the piece you chose for this audition. Thank you. Now to the judges. Let's hear from Jack Price first, please.
I have to get your name. Yejoo?
Yeah, Yejoo.
Yejoo. Sorry.
Yeah.
I hate it when I pronounce things wrong.
It's okay.
It's very beautiful.
Thank you.
You have a clear, it's for you're in high school, right? Yeah, I saw you won something in Charleston, right? I can't hear you.
Oh, I think we lost the microphone again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Good thing it happened after she performed.
Can you hear me, Yejoo? Okay.
Yes, she can.
If you can hear me, so that's good. It's a really good start. The voice is clear and pure and natural. I like your direction. Harmonically, you're listening to what's going on in the music, which not many singers do. And I've had quite an interesting experience with singers, from Met singers to, Nats contestants and all these, in my day. And I can tell you that they really like to dress up, don't they, for their lessons? But you look great. I mean, it's no joke. Yeah, I mean, I can hear you now. Yeah, the whole presentation's beautiful, but what I think you should concentrate on right now, not that I'm a vocalist, but I feel most musicians can comment on music, and that is, watch your intonation and how you're getting to it, okay?
Yeah.
Now, some people, like East Side City Slicker Slides, like, in the Elgar cello concerto, they slide right up to those notes, right?
Yeah.
What you need to do, obviously, is to pinpoint where that note is. Imagine where it is. Like the French horn player. He has to imagine the note. He can't just pluck it down like this. There's no way. Pianists have this advantage of they don't have to find the note, but yes, they have to find it, but in a very different way, right?
Yeah.
Violinists have their problem with imagining where the note is on the fingerboard. Is that what it's called? I don't know. Anyway, so they got to figure out, where is that note?
Yeah.
Pianists don't have to do that, but they have to do something that everyone else doesn't have to do. We won't talk about that. I think you know what that is. So we all have our problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what you need to do is imagine that note. Close your eyes, in the shower or whatever, and say, "Oh, there it is." See, that it's like an approach to an instrument. You have to imagine it before you get to the instrument. You can't figure it out at the instrument. Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting about, if Anna, if you don't mind me making a comment about this whole process, just hit me this moment. Breakthrough. These competitions are incredible because we're not focused on mistakes. Now, what does that mean? Everybody at these big gladiatorial competitions, including the ones I've participated in and won, sadly, are interested in only one thing: how you play or sing or conduct at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big problem because some people may not at that moment produce what the judges are imagining that they want to hear. Now, I know that sounds totally weird, but they have no idea usually what really makes careers. Okay, they have no idea, as I call it, a lot of people have heard me say, what the real play in town is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is such a thing as potential, and there is such a thing as that spark you can hear even amid an ocean of disaster, which you're not, of course. I'm not even suggesting that. But it just dawned on me, so what if the high note isn't right there? Listen to the talent, listen to the person, evaluate the future, present, and past right now. Don't go, well, yeah, it wasn't very good. And, the next person may be like a typewriter, This is the essence of competition they're missing. It's actually a very inspiring process. It's actually very entertaining. It's actually very pleasant. And what Anna's done here is make it pleasant. And I'm not just, complimenting her, but it's really pretty phenomenal. And it just dawned on me that we're all too interested in how it went right now. Like people go, how did it go? How did it go? Well, it went. I mean,
Yeah.
like a performance or a presentation, or if you're one of those motivational speakers that gets up in front of huge companies, and sometimes they lose a thought or something. How did it go? Was it perfect? Did you reach everybody? Did you sell a lot of stuff? I mean, it's not the point, is it?
Yeah.
It's the point is discovering the talent. Okay. So I think what you've done here is demonstrated that you can sing and you're someone to keep an eye on. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So think about that when you're preparing. That's more important than anything we could say to you about hitting the note or what have you. So I think you've got it, and you just have to make sure you surround yourself with teachers and pedagogues and blah, blah, blah that support your process. Not everybody's going to be ready for you, and you're not going to be ready for them. Like Anthony Hopkins says, when the student is ready, the guru will appear, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopkins is a real good example. He's the greatest. I mean, there's no question. He's beyond everybody. But anyway, the point is he made something very clear, and it's totally true. When the apprentice, or whatever you want to call them, is ready, the guru will appear. Don't just hop into anyone's studio. Think about who you choose to surround yourself with and influence you, because I can tell you it can be a disaster. Okay. Bravo.
Thank you very much for the comments. And that's a key. Surround yourself with people who support your process of growth as an artist. Let's hear from Maestro Giacomo Franci.
Yes, Yejoo. Do I pronounce well your name?
Yeah.
What you sang is one of my favorite arias. I love that aria because it's very simple and very expressive and very everything. I really like it. It's coming from the plot of. I don't want to start the musicologist thing, but anyway, start from the plot of Rinaldo opera from Handel, and the plot is, if you ask me, is kind of stupid, but if you because it's the plot between Rinaldo and, I wrote down the name because I never remember name, Almirena. So Almirena is singing this aria, and then there is an happy ending to the opera. Rinaldo and Almirena get finally together.
Yeah.
But there is this nasty magician Armida that put. So anyway, I think it's great to sing the aria like there is no hope.
Mhm.
That when she's crying, she's not thinking about, she thinks that there will be a failure. She thinks that we'll end.
Yeah.
And that's the way, I read the name again. Almirena is singing desperate. She has to be desperate. That's
Yeah.
the way I feel it.
Okay.
And my question to you is this. Did you have a pre-recorded accompaniment?
No, I do a live accompaniment.
You had someone there accompanying you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's wonderful.
So
Thank you,
now-
the great accompanist. Let's give a round of applause to the person accompanying you.
Yeah. Very good. So, yeah, the way I feel the aria, if you, for example, if you would ever solo in my orchestra, I would prolong a little bit the silence. It would get more lush. I'm not a singer, but anyway. Lascia, Pianga. So
Yeah.
not always, but sometimes.
Yeah.
That would enhance the expression of the piece.
Okay.
Now going back to, I think, but this is my opinion. I don't know if Anna would agree with that. I see that she is not. But anyway, so.
Oh, you shouldn't assume.
No, I'm not assuming.
You know what that means if you assume. Yeah.
No. Let's not go there.
And
So-
with Anna, it's very tricky. You don't assume with Anna.
So, continuing to comment on your performance, I felt that in the second part, when you had some more coloratura there, in the second part of the tema, when you come, you were a little bit more shaky. Is that true? You are feeling a little bit less solid than in the beginning.
Yeah.
So my suggestion, maybe you should know more what you are doing in the second part. But you are very talented. You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
I enjoyed your performance.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Giacomo. Thank you, Dikran, for all the comments. And most of all, thank you, Yejoo, for your performance and for bringing your beautiful voice to our program.
Thank you.
Brava. With this, we will be inviting on stage Byun, who will be performing Born to Entertain from Ruthless by Laird. And let me see if we are ready for Byun to perform. Looks like Byun is ready right there in the frame. Well, Byun, welcome you on the virtual stage, and we are happy to present your performance today. Dedicated to bringing live performances and events to audiences around the globe.
Perform in Weill Recital Hall at Carnegie Hall. Opportunities for soloists and chamber musicians are available. Opportunities to perform a concerto with the New York Chamber Players and Orchestra Manhattan. Opportunities for composers to have their works premiered. New, an opportunity to have your string quartets recorded on an album produced by Cicciarone Music Anonymous. Receive a press interview and be featured on our live internet TV series. Everybody who auditions receives a session with our tech experts to ensure you the maximum quality of presentation from your own equipment. Auditions will be hosted live online throughout the entire season. After your audition, stay online to receive your personal performance evaluation and a chance to speak with our esteemed judges.
You intend to do all the right things and you do them.
And I see you being very much aware that when your body moves, the sound flows.
It's like I never heard it before. I was like, oh, okay. So thank you.
There's more. Whole Orchestra is back. Audition to be a featured artist in Florence, Lviv, Cairo, the Philippines. Possibility to take part on a professional recording with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, and a chance to link up with Price Attractions, a professional artist management company. Visit our websites for more details. HoldOrchestra.com, SoundEspressivoCompetition.com, or ProgressiveMusicians.com. So that's opportunities to be featured in New York City and all around the globe. Have your works premiered on a professionally released album, press interviews on the live internet TV, evaluations from musical experts, professional management opportunities, and so much more. Take that next step forward and reach toward your opportunity to receive world recognition as a musical artist.
We heard 7 artists tonight, and each one was fantastic.
It all starts by filling out that application on one of our websites.
Go to the bottom middle, there should be a setting called Cam Mic. Go to the audio tab. And there should be a setting called stereo audio. Can you turn that on by clicking on it? Is it on now?
Yeah.
Does it ask you to refresh or no?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. And then go to the camera tab in there on the left. And then click on Show Advanced Options and make sure that you have the highest resolution selected.
Okay. Sorry? Can you go again to Cam Mic settings? I'm not sure that you are stereo settings, that you have the right settings. Yeah, you should turn stereo audio on. Stereo audio should be on and echo cancellation off. Yeah, okay, great, thanks. Your microphone is very good, but it shouldn't stay on the piano. I think it's touching the piano. Can it be moved?
This tiny bit is...
Yeah, it shouldn't touch any of the piano because of the vibrations. Yeah, it's still. Sorry. Let's try to take it outside of the piano. It's too much inside the piano. Yeah, it's speaking too much.
Can we raise the camera so it's looking a little bit higher from above, as opposed to like this, and maybe a little bit in distance, so we can see full piano a little bit farther away.
Farther away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But now you can see the lights.
That's okay. We can move the lights out of the frame.
Yeah.
So mic's getting overloaded a bit. What kind of mic are you using?
A USB mic.
Does it have a gain on it?
No, it just has like a mute on it. Now I can adjust the slider on my end.
Yeah, the slider on StreamYard isn't what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the gain of the mic, so you would have to go to the computer settings for that. It's going to be audio settings.
Yeah, on the sound.
And then when you get there, there will be a tab, input and output tabs.
Yeah.
And you want to go to the input, and then the volume slider on there, you want to lower like by, I don't know, 30%.
Are we sure it's on? Can you just tap on it? Yeah. I think it is. Yeah, okay, nice. Okay. I would recommend. Great.
Yes, there's no denying there was quite a bit of additional tech checking of our next candidate for the performances. The technology is still new and fresh, and we are bringing people from different places with different internet connections and with a lot of different variety of computer microphone and camera setups. So I just wanted to share with you a little compilation of what the back end looks like of these productions. You saw our wonderful musicians / technicians, audio video engineers and broadcast designers working with the candidates on the back end in our virtual green rooms, preparing them for being presented on the virtual stage. Virtual stage, just like on any other stage, is not a given. It consists of many elements and many components. If you ever performed on the stage, you know there's a floor which can maybe squeak sometimes. There's a piano chair which may not be moving up and down, and there's lights which have to be operated for them to function properly, and there are also bathrooms which you need to find your whole way to, and green rooms and backstage and everything. Every stage is a specially designed space for accommodating live performances, and so is the virtual stage. The virtual stage is the newest invention of humanity, and we are happy and a little bit scared, of course, to explore it. So we understand everyone's anxiety, being seeking confidence that this new stage will actually support and will not crumble under our feet. And that is what our phenomenal virtual concert halls team is for, and experienced and really pro at creating that environment where just about every one of your setups is going to function properly and deliver the best quality of sound and video, whether you're using Mac computers or PC computers, or you're using mobile cameras or stationary microphones. And we've worked, our teams, I should say, worked with dozens and dozens of different setups, from fully equipped, professionally wired and equipped concert halls to the home settings, like many of the auditionees today. They're in their home environment, so that environment needs to be adjusted to be part of the virtual stage. And now we're ready to present Byun, who will be performing Born to Entertain from Ruthless by Laureate. The virtual stage is all yours. Welcome.
Hi Anna, hi everyone. Let me tell you, I'm very happy to be with you and to have the opportunity to talk about this particular venue, the Auditorium Santo Stefano. Auditorium Santo Stefano was not built as an auditorium. Actually, it was built in the 11th century, so we are back in the Middle Age, and it was built as a church, the Church of Santo Stefano. We can see this church now in the modern times as it looks from outside, but it was much more refined with a particular architecture outside and with a particular architecture inside. And it had a strategic value because it was very close to the very center of Florence, so close to Ponte Vecchio and Piazza Signoria, the Duomo. It was a small church in a very strategic place. Now, in the 13th century, Florence was ruled by a very important and famous family, the Medici family. Most of you could have heard about Lorenzo de' Medici, called Lorenzo il Magnifico, Lorenzo the Magnificent, because he was very fond of music, poetry, and art in general. The Medici family was a banking family, so they had a lot of financial and political power. And they were also very religious. They were very much connected to the church as an institution and to the Christian religion. So they wanted to attend to the Mass. Now, the Medici family established their home in the Palazzo Pitti, which is very close to the river Arno, to Ponte Vecchio, and is a magnificent palace with a very big garden. You can think of it as a small Versailles, okay? From Palazzo Pitti through Ponte Vecchio, it was very easy to reach this church. So they chose this church, Santo Stefano, to attend the Mass. By the way, they were very often threatened, so they had to defend themselves from possible attempts at their life. So when they went to the church, they used to go in an upper balcony that was built on the purpose in this church, and from there to attend the Mass, so they didn't have to sit together with the rest of the people. In 1981, so back to the modern times, this church ceased to be a church because the community realized that they had so many churches in Florence and in the surroundings that some of them had to be deconsecrated, as we say. So they stopped to be churches. They remained with the same architecture, but no masses and no more Catholic rituals would be performed in there. It was decided, as regards Santo Stefano Church, that it would stay as a place for, exhibition of art and music, and performing concerts, classical concerts. Now, the acoustic in this place is very, very particular because it was a church. We all know that in a church, every counted instruments would sound in a very special way, right? But after some restorings that they did inside in the architecture, they achieved a sound that is in between a theater and the church. And this makes this sound very, very particular. So I'm very happy that we can have a concert broadcasted from that venue, and I will give all my contribute in future to have as many artists as possible performing in this venue that now is the Auditorium Santo Stefano, where whether you are a player or a listener, you can feel the very special sound, you can listen to this very special acoustic resonance, and you can breathe the atmosphere of a place that finds its roots in a very ancient past.
Hey there. So, we've had many technical difficulties, and sometimes that just happens on the live performances. And so we do the best that we can. We have a wonderful tech team behind the scenes working this out, but it looks like we're going to have to reschedule Ayun for tomorrow. We are back live tomorrow at 11 a.m. So tune in and you can hear her then, as well as many other wonderful auditionees here. I'd like to bring the judges back for just a moment here, and thank you all for your time. So hey, so yeah, I mean, here's one of the other things here. Anna had to go, so now I'm finishing out this broadcast. But yeah, it's good to see you guys here, and thank you for all of your patience and your wonderful expertise. Did any of you have any words of wisdom you wanted to leave us with?
No,
I'm not an expert.
I'm just sorry about the inconvenience the technicians are going through. I'm sure it might be pretty stressful.
Yeah, yep, yeah, I mean, I've been back and forth on the back end and all that, and everybody's doing their very best, and sometimes this just happens, but yeah, I mean, a big shout out to all of the families that support their kids, whether they be little kids or adults, or, you know, even professionals through all this, yes, because we have our own back-end team, but many times we've noticed our auditionees have their own back-end team who are trying to connect to our system with our techs and all by remote, and it can get a little difficult. Sometimes it's just complicated, and you know, between the tech and the communications, and that's just how life goes sometimes. But luckily we have one more broadcast tomorrow that we can get her on, and you can still hear her, and I'm sure it will be lovely. So we have a couple things coming up. The Hunter Mill Music Studio recital is on at 4 p.m. today on this channel. So that's where those are the students of Anna Ouspenskaya, and that's why she had to leave to go set up for that. And so that'll be a wonderful event. And then tomorrow we're doing more auditions at 11 a.m. That'll be our final session for this round of auditions. Everybody is auditioning for the galas that we have this coming season at Carnegie Hall. So tune in for that. Judges, thank you very much again. And we also have many other thank yous here. Our partners. Yes, we have many partners that invest their time and resources, not just money, but time and resources into building broadcasts and events like this, and we thank you very much. There's too many of them to list, but you can see here we have about 4 screens of them. Yes. Maybe 5 screens. There's so many here, yeah. And we are streaming on all platforms. You can leave a comment, and if we have a moment, we put your name, your comment up on the screen. So if you have questions, leave them in the chat, and then one of our we love interactive broadcasts, so we're happy to answer questions when we're able to. And we have a wonderful team behind the scenes that has just done an impeccable job today. Thank you, everybody, for all that you do. And again, thank you, private teachers, for all that you do to set up your students, and families that you do to support your students. I mean, it's a full-time job that never pays enough on either ends of those, and it's rarely a thankless job. So we want to thank you personally. Okay, so we are at the end of time here, the end of the broadcast time here, not the end of time. And I'd like to just say thank you to everybody, and we'll sign off. We'll see you at 4 o'clock for the Hunter Mill Music Studio. Bye now.